Hi guys, welcome back. It's Kim, the lifelong reader. I'm back with part 2 of my 4 women writers. Just as a reminder, I'm asking you to help me pick which of the books that I have here at the house should be my first title by this author I have not read yet. This is part of my 2026 reading plan building, and I'm so happy to have you joining me in those plans. So I have 2 fresh female authors here for you to choose from. Let me know which of these books you think should be my first pickup when I read them for the first time in 2026. The first author is Annie Dillard, and I'm really curious about Annie Dillard. This is her 1974 nonfiction title called Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. This book actually won the Pulitzer for nonfiction in 1975. And this is ostensibly nature writing. She is from Tinker Creek. Well, she's living in Tinker Creek, Virginia at the time. And she takes us out into the countryside there and has experiences with the wildlife. So whether that's watching a butterfly migration or looking at pond water under a microscope, all types of fun things in the outdoors. And this sounds really, really sweet. And I love nature writing because it is usually beautifully written and thoroughly moving. So I would be looking forward to picking this up if you guys think this would be a good choice for number 1. My second book that I have here as a choice from her is another nonfiction title by her called An American Childhood. And this is a book that I'm really excited about just based on the actual book. It's a vintage, cool looking copy. It has some really interesting end papers here of Pittsburgh showing the 3 rivers there in Three River City. You've got the Ohio River, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela rivers. And this tells us that An American Childhood is about what it feels like to be alive and awake. Dillard continues the passionate exploration of the interior life that she began in Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. Now that sounds wonderful. You guys know I love the interior life. She evokes childhood's vigor, clarity, and keenness. She says, I grew up in Pittsburgh in the 50s in a house full of comedians reading books. She bird watches at the country club. Her father quits his corporate job and takes his own boat down the Ohio River alone for a few months. Her mother teaches her and her 3 sisters, how to tell a joke, dance all night, and bet a poker hand. Her ecstatic interest in the world begins here in childhood. She's collecting rocks and insects, making drawings, memorizing faces, pitching baseballs, playing with a microscope, learning psalms, and tries flying. It's an ordinary childhood, but what is extraordinary is her distinctive irony and humor coupled with the power and depth of her probing. So again, since I'm naive to her writing, I don't know if any of that is true or if that's just marketing genius, but this book sounds pretty good to me. So if you've read it before, let me know what you thought, and should this be my first pickup? Now, the last one I have here is her fictional title called The Maytrees. And in this, we meet Toby Maytree, and it says he first sees Lou Bigelow on her bicycle in post-war Provincetown, Massachusetts. Her laughter and loveliness catch his breath. Maytree is a Provincetown native, an educated poet of 30. As he courts Lou, who is just out of college, her stillness draws him in. He hides his serious wooing and idly shows her his poems. In spare, elegant prose, which sounds fantastic, Dillard traces the Maytrees' decades of loving and longing. They live cheaply among the non-conforming artists and writers that the bare tip of Cape Cod attracts. When their son Petey appears, their innocent bohemian friend Dearie helps to care for him, and years later it is Dearie who causes the town to talk. So this is said a intimate depiction of loyalty, friendship, and abiding love. Dillard presents nature's vastness and nearness. It's warm and hopeful and is the surprising capstone of her original body of work. So that really draws me in. That hits a lot of things that I like. really, really interested in this one. So let me know if you think that one should be number one. So again, that is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, An American Childhood, or The Maytrees. All right, and then the fourth of my 4 women writers that I want your opinion on is Ann Patchett. I can't believe I've never read Ann Patchett, but I actually have 5 works from her here at the house, but I'm only going to talk to you about 4 of them because I'm going to focus on her fiction for this. This is her first one called The Patron Saint of Liars, and this takes us to Habit, Kentucky, and we meet a woman named Rose. And Rose has just checked herself into St. Elizabeth's, which is a home for unwed mothers. She is pregnant. But the interesting thing about her is that she's not unwed. She's actually married. But her plans are to give the baby up once she has the baby. However, after the baby's born, she's unable to give the baby up, and she creates a home for herself and her daughter in this home for unwed mothers. So I'm really intrigued by this. This is the only one of the 4 books I'm going to talk to you about today from her that I actually sought out a new copy of because I couldn't find it used anywhere. These other ones I ran into in thrift stores, but I really wanted to read this title. So I don't know if it's excellent, but I thought I would start there because this is where she started. It's one of her earliest novels, but I'd like to know what you think about that plan. Now, her second one that I have here is Bel Canto, and I've heard nothing but rave reviews about Bel Canto, and the premise of the book is actually why I have never read this. So in this book, we are somewhere in South America at the home of the country's vice president. It's a lavish birthday party held in the honor of a powerful businessman. We have the most revered opera soprano is singing to us at this party. We are all mesmerized. There are international guests there. It's a perfect evening until a band of gun-wielding terrorists comes in and starts to take hostages. So I know my nervous little heart will be on edge the whole time I read this, but it's highly rated. So it might be where you guys would suggest I start. And then the next one is another very popular work by her, and this is The Dutch House. The Dutch House follows brother and sister, Danny and Maeve, and their stepmom removes them from the house. And this is an action that has reverberations across the remainder of their lives, which is a really interesting premise. I guess I just don't understand what they were dealing with here. It says that they go from this really nice house back into the poverty that their parents fought so hard to get out of. So maybe they were raised with just absolutely no awareness of how to help themselves. So again, I'm really curious about this. It covers 5 decades of their life, and we are told that they never recover from this. So I am very curious about this one. Let me know if you think it would be my first pickup. And then the last one from her is her 2016 release called Commonwealth. And in this, we're told that a gentleman goes to a baby's christening uninvited. And while he is there, he kisses the baby's mother. And that sets in motion he and she coming together, the breaking up of their families, and how that reverberates across the next 5 decades of life in Southern California where these people live. Very curious about this one too. It sounds great. This is why I can't wait to pick up some Patchett, because I think she's probably going to fit well with what I'm looking for. So let me know if this would be your first choice. And again, maybe it would be The Dutch House, maybe it would be Bel Canto, or maybe it would be The Patron Saint of Liars. I'm really looking forward to hearing your input on this, guys. I thank you for joining me for this video today. I'll let you know which ones won the battle here from the comment section. And until I see you again, happy reading.